AM 1060 WMEL. The views expressed on the following program are those of the hosts, callers, and guests, and are not necessarily those of WMEL staff, management, or advertisers.
Good afternoon, everyone, to the Helping Seniors of Brevard County. My name is Kay Kaiser. I'm sitting in for Joe Steckler today, who's on assignment. We want to welcome you to our program because we've got a really interesting guest we're going to be introducing here in a couple minutes. But before I do, I want to give recognition to our underwriters, our partners that make this radio arm possible. And I'm going to start with Atlantic Shores Nursing and Rehabilitation Center, Barbara McIntyre, who is a home equity retirement specialist, Canadian Meds of Melbourne, where Joe Bonds can help save you a lot of money on your prescription medications, Clear Channel Outdoor, Courtney Ann Braswell Financial Group, and our guest today, the publisher of Ebony News Today. And we'll welcome you in a moment personally here, Ben. We also give thanks to Gentiva Home Health, Hometown News, Levin Home Care Nurse Registry, Peaceful Beach Mediation, Senior Scene Magazine, AM 1060 WMEL, and we'll pick up on the second half of our program today, our other partners that make this radio arm possible. So I want to welcome Benjamin Cain, the publisher of Ebony News Today. Welcome, Ben.
How are you doing today?
We're doing great.
Excellent. Good.
Well, you have a most unique publication, Ben, and I think maybe what it might be interesting for those who are not familiar with your newspaper and your tabloid that fits inside is called Ebony News Today. In your headliner there, you kind of call it in quotations, the heartbeat of our community.
Yes. And pretty much that's what the readers kind of came up with that tune and say it's the heartbeat of the community because it allows the African American community here in Brevard County and in the Indian River, the Fort Pierce area,
right,
to really keep a pulse of what's going on in the community. A lot of times. You hear of all the negative things that are going on in the community.
That's true. You're
but
right.
you don't see some of the positive things that are going on. And there are so many unsung heroes in the community or organizations that are doing great things, that are outreaching to the community, that are providing things for kids or for seniors or whatever. And those things are just not publicized. You don't see them. Whether it's in your local news, other publication, or television. So, and that's pretty much what we do is just allow folks to tell their story.
And I think that's wonderful because the African American population in Brevard, I'm sure, is growing quite rapidly. Is it not?
Yes. Along with the Hispanic, yes, they're growing tremendously. Correct.
Along with the Hispanic population. Do you have any current statistics as far as the population on that versus?
No, I remember about when we first started 13 years ago, it was about 8% African American, but now I think it's kind of still probably around 10, 12%.
Okay.
And it's the largest minority community in Brevard County. But over the past 10 years as well, the Hispanic community has produced 100% as well.
They've also grown very much so. And as a matter of fact, we just added Aldea today to our
great publication as well.
Our partnership too, because we feel like helping seniors is all about helping seniors in Brevard County.
Correct.
It doesn't matter what color you are, what language you speak, what background you may have, religious, ethnic, you name it.
Right.
Joe Steckler started this nonprofit organization to reach out and help all seniors of Brevard.
Right.
And let me tell you, folks, my official title is the information specialist. I do, in fact, on a daily basis, get all types of calls.
Yeah.
I was sharing with you yesterday the type of call that I had in trying to help this poor fellow. But nonetheless, and I know that he came as a result of seeing the article that Joe wrote in your Ebony News Today. But I've got to ask you, and you have approximately 25,000 distributed throughout Brevard County of your newspaper.
Correct.
Is that right?
Correct. Yes.
Wow. How did you get started in all this? Did you have publishing background, or did you just have a yearn to put out, like you say, that positive information?
That was it. I did have just a little. I come from Fort Lauderdale.
Okay.
And then I worked at Today paper for about 10 years, and I actually had kind of pitched the idea at Florida Today at one time.
Okay.
And that was one of those things. Well, we don't know if it may or may not. So, but once I was out on my own and just decided that, you know what, it's time to do it. It's time to get out and tell the story because just too much was going on around town. Positive stuff that's going on. It's just
that nobody was picking up on.
Yeah.
And that's such a valid point, Ben Cain, because the fact is so many people, we watch TV, we hear different types of media, and they're focusing on the negative.
The negative, correct.
It's like they want to make this big mountain out of a molehill because, people are going to listen to this story because it's not good.
Right.
But if more people like you focused on the positive, don't you think we'd have a better world to live in?
We will, no doubt about it. You know, one of the things is that I've done some research a while back, a few years ago, and found out that within the African American community, you have over about 550 events that are going on each year.
Wow.
Whether it's from church organizations or the NAACP or just other not-for-profit organizations or health, whatever, they're all out there and they're doing those things in the community. But the story that's one of the things by Ebony News Today is to tell that story.
Well, you struck you struck a note there because you're trying to get that information out, and that's another purpose of helping seniors of Brevard. We are trying to get the information out because I know Joe Steckler always talks about, knowledge is power,
Very much so.
And if people simply just don't know where to turn, they don't know who to call, and I'm going to put that number out there right now because if anybody is interested in calling Helping Seniors of Brevard, it is an area code 321-473-7770. And although I'm not personally in the office right now, leave a message because I do return all my phone calls here. And that also made me think about you, Benjamin Cain, and the fact that, because you have such a unique publication and you focus on the positive, you came up with I call it tabloid, it's an insert, that's called Investing in Your Health Today. Correct. Monthly health and wellness magazine. How did you come up with that idea?
That was something that the Lord just gave me one day. I was was at the doctor's office, and it was like, and I have a brother that's a physician.
Oh, yeah?
Yes, and so it was like that. This idea was birthed in my spirit to do something that's health related, and to go along to accompany the publication itself. And so that's where it kind of birthed from there because of the health disparities that are out there when it comes to the African American community and the medical community. There's such a gap there.
Right.
And there's so much information that's available and so many things that are available to the community, but they're just not aware of it.
Again, they just did the publication, information. Right. It all boils back to information. Right. So by putting this insert together, you have allowed Joe Steckler to provide an article each and every month.
Correct.
And although he focuses on things specifically for seniors, I'm sure that your readership, and I know I've gotten some calls, they've seen it, are saying, I didn't know about that.
Yeah.
Again, it's that information going out that is so vital to our community.
Correct, because one of the benefits of the health publications that we have, it deals with all ages.
Yeah, I see that.
Whether we're talking infants, or we're talking teens, or we're talking seniors, because health doesn't, discriminate, so to speak.
It doesn't.
Everybody has it.
That's right.
And so there's so many areas, so many facets, the things to touch on. So it's always something there to inform the readers of.
And you do. You go from ways to welcome a baby to Joe Steckler's article for seniors.
Correct,
I'm looking right at it. Oh, my goodness. And, the fact is, Joe's one of his more recent articles, Protecting Seniors Applying for Long-Term Care Benefits, it gets into such a gray area. People don't have any idea about, do they?
They don't.
And, they say, what's long-term care insurance? Benjamin, do you know what that is?
Somewhat, yes.
Somewhat,
yeah.
Okay. Well, we're going to have you read the article here.
Okay.
But nonetheless, I think that our listening audience, if you have a question for Benjamin Cain, publisher of Ebony News Today, we welcome your call, and you can call the station directly. We'll put you on the air. You don't have to say your name or anything if you want to just be anonymous. But that number to dial is 321-241-1060.
Yes.
All right. So we welcome any callers if you'd like the opportunity to speak with Benjamin Cain, because we know you're listening out there. And if those who missed the radio program today, they can always go to our website called helpingseniors.brevard.org.
Okay.
Because we archive everything. So, Benjamin, even though your family members may not be listening in today, you said your brother's a physician?
Yes, in Jacksonville.
Okay, in Jacksonville.
Yes.
They can go to helpingseniors.brevard.org here probably in a day or two and listen to you on our website. So you can send them a link and say, hey, brother, listen to what I just did in Brevard County. So, again, we do that to try to help people, because all of our partners and sponsors that are associated with Helping Seniors of Brevard, each and every one of them have something to contribute to help our seniors.
Right.
So we feel like regardless if it's a newsletter, a radio show, a television program, they're looking for information. We archive all that information on helpingseniors.brevard.org. So it goes worldwide here. So it's very unique in that aspect. We got to love technology, don't we?
Yeah, you do. You have to. Difficult at times to embrace, but yes.
Yeah.
You have to love it.
Well, if you could say maybe in a couple words, Benjamin Cain, what did you hope to accomplish by starting Ebony News Today? From the beginning and where you are today. Give me a little synopsis.
Okay, pretty much what we've talked about before, just informing the community, allowing them to tell their story. And one of the beautiful things that we do in pretty much all of our articles, we put pictures.
I saw that, yeah.
We allow that to tell the story, to accompany the story. And the readers just love it when they see themselves, they see their kids, they see their neighbors, and their eyes just light up. And the other thing, too, one of the reasons why we put a lot of pictures to tell the story as well. There is a senior market out there. There's a market that unfortunately is a little illiterate, so to speak, and so they may not be able to read the articles as well. But when they see the pictures, it's like, you know what? That's it.
It makes all the difference. You're right. It makes all the difference in the world.
And so that's where we do that. Yeah.
Mommy or Daddy, look, I'm in the newspaper.
In this paper, and you see something like, and they can always get someone, come read this for me. Tip, what they're talking about, that type of thing.
Right.
So it was just all about, has been about just getting to the community and allow them to tell their stories. And that's awesome. It's a thing. That's a joy.
Awesome. It means so much. I know for years I wrote for a senior living in an independent living. I would take them each month and have them sit down and tell me their story and snap a picture. Yeah. And boy, I'll tell you, when that newsletter hit, they said, they'd come down to my office just beaming, oh my gosh, I didn't realize you were a good photographer after all.
Right. But we got something really, really exciting that's looking the first of the year that we're working on right now.
Oh, yeah?
And it's a television production that's going to tell the stories by way of television now. Just regular
kidding.
News, yes.
So when do you plan? You do that after the first of the year? You're going to start taping? Okay. Do you have any hint on what station that may be on yet?
Not yet.
Okay, you're going to have to tell me a secret here off the air.
Okay.
Okay. Well, you're listening to, my name is Kay Kaiser. I'm sitting in for Joe Steckler today, and my special guest is Benjamin Cain. He is the publisher of Ebony News Today. Benjamin, tell the listening audience, how long has Ebony News Today been around? When did you start this? Let's go back.
Okay. The first of this coming month will be 14 years.
14
so
years?
We're closing up on 13, getting ready to start the 14th year.
Wow.
But yeah.
Wow. I know that I talked to one of my callers. She says that anytime your newspaper hits the street, that it's limited and everybody wants to grab it, but what they do is they share it around each other because everybody can see those pictures and read those articles. And she says it's just invaluable information that you're putting out. So I know firsthand because I get those calls too. So, it's a win-win situation for everyone to be able to be more informed in Brevard County and in our humble way with helping seniors of Brevard, putting those callers in touch with resources. And believe me, folks, those resources grow weekly.
Yes.
There's not a week that goes by that, wait a minute, I just uncovered another leaf here that I was unaware. And this is one of the things that I try my best as, because when I pick up the phone and I answer to a caller, and I don't just give them a quick number, I spend the time with them to try to determine and develop more of a relationship. And guess what, folks? They start opening up. It may not be just one issue that they need some help with. It could be several now.
Correct.
So I become more of a case manager, and I ask my callers, call me back. Let me know how you make out, because I want to make sure that those resources that you're looking for were successful.
Yes.
And if not, I'm going to go to work for you more. So, and they all come back. And then the funny thing is, sometimes a person who may not call me back in a timely, guess what? I'm calling them.
Okay.
And you know what? They say, thank you. My goodness, it's so nice to have somebody just follow up, with me and say.
It is, yeah.
So it's a special warm and fuzzy feeling that I get. And I go to work every day, and I'm sure you do too, saying that if I can touch one life, it makes it all worthwhile. Wouldn't you agree, Benjamin?
Yes, I agree.
Okay. Well, I think that an important thing might be, because in order to have a publication such as Ebony News Today, you probably rely on the advertisers, if I'm not correct, right?
Very much so, yes. And we have advertisers that have been with us from the outset.
Is that right?
Really, we have.
Okay. All right. Well, I'll tell you what I think might be a good thing to put out there, too, for anybody listening, is how they get in touch with you if they are interested in being represented in Ebony News
Most
today.
Definitely.
All right. So you want to shout out your number, or I'll let you do the honor? You want me to do the honor?
Yes, if you could.
All right. I sure will. Area code 321-220-4216. And like me, answering the phone, sometimes you're on the phone with somebody else.
Yes.
Please leave a voice message for Benjamin Cain. Again, on that number is 321-220-4216.
Yeah.
So I'm sure Ben would be more than happy to speak with you and see how we can work together to, get your company or business represented, especially in a targeted market.
Correct.
I'm going to put it in that perspective, because it is. And like you say, I have not seen any other publication focus on, especially the African American, with the good news that you put forth there.
Thank you. Yeah, and we get that quite a bit. We have readers who come from other states, cities, and when they come here, they see the publication, they call, and they're just overwhelmed with the type of news that we put in there, and the readership itself. And then we also, during certain months like the Black History Month, we target. We put together a sole publication that's strictly deal with nothing else but African American history.
Right.
And we get them from all over the world.
I can imagine.
And we have to print extra copies of folks want them, send them to here, they send them there, all over. And each month there's something that we're usually targeting, because there's so much going on.
How do you find out all the information going on in the community?
They call and let us know. Everyone, they just give a call, or they email ebonynewstoday@gmail.com.
Okay, I was going to say, how do they reach you via email?
So Ebony News Today and at gmail.com.
Okay, good.
And they would just email whatever events and happenings that are taking place.
Perfect.
And we come out and we cover those stories. We're not always able to make every event.
Sure.
And in that case, we have them take pictures, put together something, get
and
it to us.
And then email you.
And then
you can
we
upload
take it and edit it and do what needs to be done.
Well, I was going to say, unless you're Superman, to be able to be at two places at the same time with different activities and events going on in the community. So
sometimes it's 4 or 5 a day.
I can imagine. Yeah.
And we got to go out and it's like, whoa, you're just all over the place.
Do you actually take some photographs along the way as well?
I do. Okay.
So you're a jack of all trades then.
Yes.
You can write, you can photograph, you can publish.
No
not
writing.
writing?
No writing.
All right.
Just,
okay. Gotcha on that one.
Yes.
Well, listen, if you just tuned in, we're coming up to our first break here shortly, folks. My name is Kay Kaiser. I'm with Helping Seniors of Brevard, and I've been talking with Benjamin Cain, the publisher of Ebony News Today. So if you have not seen this publication, this newspaper, by golly, you got to see it, because Benjamin has done a tremendous job in focusing, like he's talked about, on the positive information and events going on in the community, unlike what I've seen other publications in the African American market. And it's just so refreshing to see this come along and know that you've been doing this for so many years. So you have got to have a big following here, Ben.
Yeah.
You boo.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that they look forward to say, oh, Ebony News Today's coming out again.
They are. One of the when we got a break shortly, I remember when it was Hurricane, was it Wilma, about 10 years ago, the one hurricane that hit and
hard.
And it was like a couple of days later and everybody was like, where's the paper? Where's the paper? We want our paper publication.
Right.
And we were out there to get them to everyone, and they were like, yes.
Wow.
And so.
Awesome. Well, listen, folks, we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll pick up and talking with Benjamin Cain, the publisher of Ebony News Today. So stay with us on Helping Seniors Brevard, the radio arm. We'll be back shortly.
AM 1060 WMEL.
Hi, welcome back to Helping Seniors of Brevard, the radio arm on AM 1060 WMEL. My name is Kay Kaiser. I am sitting in for Joe Steckler today and having a great time speaking with our guest, Benjamin Cain, who's our publisher of Ebony News Today. But before we get back into some further discussion, let me also give shout out to our other partners that are helping seniors of Brevard, and that is Seniors Helping Seniors, Solid Bite Dental Implants with Dr. Lee Sheldon, Spotlight Magazine, the Eye Institute, the Fountains of Melbourne, Vitas Innovative Hospice Care of Brevard, Wendy Handy, she's a sales associate with Dale Sorensen Real Estate, Wilderman Malik Attorneys, Bill Johnson, a Florida elder attorney. He's been on many times here too. And of course, AM 1060 WMEL, Wusthof Health Systems, and our latest is Aldea Today. So without further ado, I want to welcome back in the studio our guest here today, Benjamin Cain, who is the publisher of Ebony News Today. So welcome back here, Benjamin.
How are you doing today, Kate?
Good. And before I go any further in our second half, if we do have any callers who would like to address a call and question to Benjamin Cain, they're more than welcome to dial 321-241-1060. That'll get you right to the radio station and on the air. So if you have a question for Benjamin Cain, by all means, we welcome any calls. And I'm going to put out another number there because, again, my name is Kay Kaiser. I'm the information specialist for Helping Seniors of Brevard, and my job is to try to put my callers in touch with the appropriate resources they are looking for. And let me tell you, it grows all the time. And it is so, so difficult for someone to try to figure out, where do I go? How can I get my FPL bill paid, or my water's been turned off, or I need affordable housing, I need legal advice, I need financial advice. I need help. And where can I go? Or I need insurance advice. And a lot of times people, and this is the open enrollment for Medicaid.
Correct.
For Medicare, rather. So we work closely with the Shine counselors, and Lance Jarvis is a very reputable person that I always speak so highly of, too. He's been in our newsletter articles and other media outreach. So, again, just networking, knowing who to call. I try to give my callers at least a couple different references. And, it's just rewarding, like you, Benjamin, to wake up every day knowing that you're making a change.
Yes, it is rewarding. I agree.
Well, we talked briefly, just really didn't have a chance to talk too much before the show about you, but I said, okay, let's kind of just ad-lib it today, and sometimes that goes a little better. But I think that, if you having had this newspaper for, did you say 14 years, am I correct?
Yes, 14.
What do you envision as the future? Where do you think things are going to be changing for you?
More to going. Television is where we're looking to head right now, along with some of the internet, website, that type of thing.
Social media.
Social media
like
is
that.
very it is time to embrace it, so to speak, and then also, but the publication still hopefully is still looking to have it there as well.
Well, you mentioned, too, in the first part of the program that you have had advertisers with you since the onset of producing Ebony News Today.
Correct.
Is that correct?
Correct.
So something must be working.
Yeah. Someone like Pinnacle Eye, Dr. Regina Pappas, that is located on Sunno Road in Melbourne, and then also Bugs Funeral Homes, Stone Funeral Home. They're located in the Cocoa and also in Melbourne area.
Okay.
But Cassell Healthcare, they've been around from the onset. Yeah.
Wow. So, to have that kind of background and reputation, for a business to be saying that I want to be able to reach out to your targeted market.
Correct.
That has to say something about your publication in itself.
Yes.
So if people would like to get a hold of Benjamin Cain, they can call him at 4216. And if you don't have a chance to write that number down, you can call me at the Helping Seniors of Brevard, because I've got all those numbers for you.
Okay.
So oftentimes, people tune in, they're listening to the car, I don't have anything to write down with here. So there's always a way. Just call Helping Seniors of Brevard. So with a 25,000 distributed, and let me ask you, now we've got people coming down from the Midwest, the Northeast, and all that, and I bet you they're finding out about you and say, we don't have this up there.
Right.
Is that right?
Yes, correct. You're correct.
So you're getting feedback from people that don't necessarily live in Brevard year round.
Correct. We get that type of feedback, and it's something rewarding to see that it affecting readers all over. But that's one of the beauties of just putting out positive news, because it's such a joy to the readers to be able to see some positive news.
And that's what we talked about that in the first half. Folks, if you just tuned in, oftentimes when you get a targeted market publication, and we hear so much negative news, whether it be, and even our politicians now campaign are saying, they don't even want to show your face,
Right.
I heard that the other night. But it's a matter of they're focusing and making such a big to-do out of the negative comments.
Correct.
And now even our politicians, and this has been going on too, it just, they have to self-defend themselves and not really put themselves out to what the real purpose of their campaign is.
Correct. I agree. Yes.
So I know you end up with getting politics, as a matter of fact, involved, and this may not be your most recent one, but you have here, I was looking at the very front of your September, Dr. Joe Lee Smith.
Yes, very, very powerful man, interesting individual in the community. He's been around forever and a day. He works over at BCC. Mm-hmm. He had a building named after him I say BCC, but now it's Eastern Florida College, I think it is.
Yes.
And University.
Right.
And so, but he had a building earlier this year that they dedicated in his name as well. And there's a center here in Cocoa. He's a commissioner. In Rockledge.
He's a city commissioner.
City commissioner, yes.
Okay, not a county. Okay.
Not a county, correct.
Okay.
And so he does so many positive things in the community, but they just named the street after him in Rockledge.
That's awesome.
They said they had everything else in Rockledge. Said we never done it. He used to have his own street, so they just have to do just that.
And these are the kind of things you focus on. This is information that your targeted market saying for a respected individual to get this kind of honor,
right? To
be able to have this available to be published. So you're that information specialist for Ebony News Today.
Yeah. And one of the beautiful things is that the publication is distributed at local churches, community within the community, stores, businesses, and things of that nature. So it's right in the heart of the community. Sometimes the advertisers out there may say, "I've never seen it before. Why haven't I seen it?" Because we are that target market, and we're reaching that target audience, so we want to put it in their hands.
Right.
And sometimes it's difficult to for some advertisers or some of the others to say, "Well, I haven't seen it before. Why haven't I seen it before?" And you would have to be in that target audience in order to
actually see it.
We do what we have to do in reaching that target audience. And now we're beginning to expand even more. But yeah.
Do you take subscriptions at all?
Yes, we do.
Okay, so if somebody really wanted to subscribe that's not in the vicinity of your targeted market, they have that availability to do that.
Yes.
So in order to do that, they'd have to go back and call you directly.
Yes.
All right, your turn. Give your number
321-220-4216. 321-220-4216. All
right, very good. Well, talking with Benjamin Cain today, the publisher of Ebony News Today. And Benjamin and I go back a few years. I've been in the senior market for a number of years and used to do some networking events and so forth where I worked. And when I thought about how can I reach more seniors in Brevard to let them know about helping seniors of Brevard and what we do, because Joe Steckler, folks, if you have never read one of his articles, you are really missing out. He's got more talent when it comes to putting that pen to paper than I can imagine anybody. He is so knowledgeable. I'm a mentor to him. His information that he's been in the elder market for 25 plus years. He knows. He's been around the block.
Yeah, Joe has. Yeah.
And he wants to be able to put that information out so that you become more educated and informed. So when I picked up the phone many months ago, I said, "Oh, Benjamin Cain, that's right, he's got Ebony News Today." And so I got him on the phone and I said, "Hey, you've got to read this." And you didn't hesitate. You say, you just send it on. Let's just get it in. So Joe Steckler's articles in Ebony News Today's little insert, it's called Investing in Your Health Today. And it focuses mostly on monthly health and wellness magazine from children to seniors. So Joe Steckler features articles pertaining for seniors. There we go. So we really appreciate that. Again, we feel like we want to help all the seniors in Brevard County. So getting the information out is so vital, because unless you know about us, you're not going to call.
Correct.
And try to navigate the system is going to be a little more difficult. So I want to say and ask Benjamin Cain, our guest here today on Helping Seniors of Brevard, as a publisher, are you hearing back from the community on an ongoing basis? What are some of the comments that people tell you that you run into?
The comments are really, really tearjerkers. I mean, it just
give me an example.
I remember the late pastor, Dr. Harvey Riley at Mount Moriah Church in Palm Bay, Florida. They've actually named the street after him, and we featured.
Oh wow!
Harvey Riley has a a street name there after. And it was just one of those things. He said, I am glad that you are doing this. He said, this is very positive. This is great. Is there anything we can do to help? Just let me know. We are there. And it just on and on and on. At times when you're just walking, I might be out somewhere eating or whatever, and someone will come over and say, just keep up the good work. You're making such a world of difference in our community. It's great to be able to work. And so that's why I try to go, incognito, go places where, because it's a tearjerker too.
I can imagine. Well, I recognize your white gym shoes.
I actually do this for health reasons myself.
That's a good reason.
Yeah, because I used to wear hard bottom shoes.
And you walk a lot.
Yes, and I walk a lot, but the feet, it just really did some damage to it. And I actually had one of the shoe salesmen was telling me about get these type of tennis shoes with the area in them and so on and so forth. And since then, it's been
made a big difference in the way you can walk. Well, I like your casualness too. Sometimes people. I'm from the Midwest. That was a shock when I moved to Florida. People aren't wearing suits,
Yeah.
But it's just down to earth. That we are who we are, and we're in Brevard County. It's more laid back. It's a beach community for many people and so forth. And quite honestly, it's the best kept secret in Florida.
Yeah.
Don't you think?
It is. That's where I came up from Fort Lauderdale.
Okay, there you go. Well, if you just tuned in, I'm talking to Benjamin Cain today. He's the publisher of Ebony News Today, and featured in the center of his publication, the newspaper, is called Investing in Your Health Today, where Joe Steckler has his monthly article. So be sure to not miss that, because he touches for what is really important for the seniors to be more aware of. And again, that's what Benjamin Cain focuses on with his entire publication, is the positive things and information that people wouldn't have had otherwise. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay.
I agree.
Have you had any senior readers telling them they've been up all night worried about their future?
No, I don't. I don't.
Not personally?
Not personally, no.
Well, I can bet you bottom dollar they are, just for people to understand how to plan, whether it be long-term care or a variety of different reasons to look into. And I know Joe Steckler has done a number of shows with, Bill Johnson, talking about guardianship, what do we want to do here, make plans and all the above. But so many people just don't know where to go.
They don't know where to go. You're
and
right.
What to do. They're just, it's really difficult. Do you think maybe, Benjamin, that our senior readers are really getting a fair shake in our community? I just want to hear your input. You deal with all ages there, and I know, seniors are part of it.
Yeah. No, there's so much out there that's the seniors that's lacking, that need to be dealt with as it pertains to seniors that are not being done today. No, I don't think the seniors are getting their fair share. But there are some good. There are quite a bit out there, organizations that are out there focusing in on the seniors.
Right.
And the one senior center, I think, is in Vieira. It's very good at that as well in terms of meeting the needs of the seniors.
And getting information. And that's, again, why we are Helping Seniors of Brevard, a nonprofit organization that costs you nothing to call.
Right.
It is really difficult. We're not trying to get in competition with any particular organization. As a matter of fact, so many times you've heard Joe Steckler mention we want to complete.
Right.
So, you look at something and you say, well, maybe this isn't where I need to be or this is where I need to go, but I'm looking for information. I'm looking for a resource. How can I find that?
Yeah.
And again, this is what I try to do, is develop a relationship. So more times out of none, people will really open up and say, golly, I never knew that was available.
Yes.
Let me give you a perfect example. And let me ask you a question before I go into that. Think about how many of your readers would you think, and I'm sure you maybe don't have a handle on the percentage of them, but wouldn't you agree a lot of your readers are veterans?
Yes, a lot of veterans and seniors, yes.
Yeah, who may have been in Korea or World War II.
Correct.
Okay. Now, let's paint a picture here. Maybe a woman has lost her spouse who was in one of those wars, and maybe he served at least 90 days, and one of those days he served in a time of war. I get these callers calling up to me, Benjamin Cain, saying, they're getting $600, $700, $800 a month. And then I'm thinking, how are we living on that?
Correct. Yeah.
So I'm asking, I said, let me ask you, was your husband ever a veteran? And one thing leading to another. Well, yes, he was. I said, you still have his discharge papers? Yes, I do. So what I'm talking about, folks, is the VA Aid and Attendance Program. And for many widows, and I had a gentleman the other day, 86 years old, that served in war. He was making only $1,000 a month, had hardly any assets at all, was really screaming for help. So we're trying to get him through the system. So many people don't know about the Aid and Attendance Program, and for the majority of that are on those limited income, it could make the difference of day and night.
Yes, a huge difference. So,
you see your aging loved ones who may want to age in their own homes. You have any relatives in the area, Benjamin Cain?
Wife and kids, yeah.
Okay.
Or ex-wife and kids, correct.
Okay.
Yes.
But father, mother?
Brevard County in Fort Lauderdale.
Oh, in Fort Lauderdale.
Yes.
So they're still up there. Okay.
Yes.
So are you, dealing with your publication, Ebony News Today, and dealing with the senior population? You mentioned that you're going to try to do some television here in the future. That's some future plans. But expanding upon, I bet you bottom dollar that the targeted market you're going after is going to only increase as well.
Yes.
So,
yes.
And here's the thing that I find with seniors. Sure, there's technology, and many of them picked up the fact that, okay, I've got to learn computers, I'm going to stay in touch with my family via email that way and all that, but they still love to read.
They love to read, and that is a great deal of the audience. Publications are something they really love to. It's what they grew up on.
That's it.
Yeah,
that's
what
it.
they grew up on, and that's what they love to do. And if it's not that, or watching television. So
yeah,
but yeah.
And for many of the seniors, watching TV goes back to the dates where there was only black and white.
That was it. Yeah.
So I know that for a fact. A lot of seniors really do enjoy reading, and picking up a newspaper is what they grew up with.
Right.
And Ebony News Today is a perfect example of spreading positive news in our community.
Correct.
So is there anything else you'd like to add that our listening audience may be a little bit more informed about Benjamin Cain, Ebony News Today?
Now,
you don't have to be modest.
No, and a lot don't know I am a licensed insurance agent. I do Medicare, Medicare Advantage, those types of things as well.
Well, that's good to know.
I work closely with seniors.
Excellent.
So I do that as well. It's not just something because I'm here today, but because I really do work closely with seniors. I have some events I'll be doing with the seniors next month.
Good.
So quite a bit of those will be doing as well. Some educational things as it pertains to Medicare and Medicare Advantage.
Okay. Yeah. Well, that's all good information, too. So they can get a hold of you at 321-220-4216.
321-220-4216. Correct.
All right. I think I got it right.
Yeah.
Well, Benjamin Cain, publisher of Ebony News Today, I have to have you thankful for being on the program today.
A pleasure.
And we hope that continue with a long-lasting relationship and helping our seniors know more about what's available to them. And the generous articles that Joe Steckler provides are just, they're up there. They're a 20 on a scale of 1 to 10. So
when we get started with the television program, I'd like to come back on, and also I'd like to give Joe a spot there as well. So.
Perfect. We look forward to that. Well, you know how to get a hold of us at Helping Seniors of Brevard is 473-7770. So I want to thank Benjamin Cain for being an outstanding guest. And again, learning more about what's available out there. So for a listening audience, Joe will probably be back next week. But it's been a pleasure speaking to you on his behalf today. My name is Kay Kaiser, Information Specialist with Helping Seniors of Brevard. We can be reached at 321-473-7770. So have a great week, and thanks for listening.
Thank you all.